So we're going back to this game, My Precious Stalker, so we could find the second character we could date, which is gonna be the Mushroom Oasis fan character for Mychael. Did I wave my stream direction? I'm going to do photographically this time. The morning sun slowly creeps in through my window. However, this does not prevent me from covering my head with the blanket and wincing. After a few more minutes of tossing and turning, I realize I'm not likely to fall asleep again. So I have no choice but to get out of bed. Okay, after a little morning stretch, I glance around my boring room. I shake my head, yawning. What could be expected, in principle? Only I live here. Getting out of bed, I stretch once more and go to the kitchen, finally wanting to have breakfast. Oh God, running a midnight stream after working was probably a mistake. Which, unfortunately, will happen again. Anyway, once I'm in the kitchen, the first thing I do is head to the fridge. Dreamily imagining my future breakfast as I open the door and discover absolutely nothing emptiness inside. It wasn't just a mouse that hung up. Not even the cockroaches must have scattered from such a hunger strike. When I realize I have to go to the store today, I wince. And why specifically today? In this why specifically today is the run out of everything day? I sigh in resignation, looking helplessly at the emptiness in front instead of food. And at the same time, I could hear my stomach growling. I realize that nothing will be magically appear in the refrigerator while I'm staring at the shelves. Just close the door. I just closed the door. A disappointed sigh escapes my chest. Well, I definitely won't want to go out tomorrow, so it's definitely today. Better today. I head to the closet, trying to remember if there's any more moss in there since the last time I opened it all. Thank God there was just no additional roommates on my clothes after all. Choosing the first thing that catches my eye, I lazily put on my clothes. And taking my wallet and phone, I leave the apartment. The elevator, to my disappointment, is still under repair, so I have to go down the stairs again. You know, the repair thing, this reminds me of Big Bang Theory. I really hope that it will be repaired soon, because the sporty lifestyle is clearly not mine. I mean, it could be worse. You could be Sheldon Cooper. And the elevators there, and they're not sporty at all. Flight of stairs after the flight of stairs. It probably take forever. My gaze once again clings to the plaster walls of the entrance. Missing persons announcements, numbers of our masters, pinned walls, and wanted post flyers. Finally, I find myself outside, breaking in the stuffy air and the smell of exhausted engines. As the street among unfamiliar faces visibly passed by, my thoughts were on the previous day. Definitely think twice next time if I decide to do a stream on a night after I work my work shift. Yesterday was crowded enough as it was, and I'm a loud, heavy sigh. I need to make a schedule later. One day. Though with that kind of work schedule I have, my stream schedule is out of the question. I glance a bit around the walkway, leading into the park. Even like that, the shortcut is right here. Soon enough, this tree slightly outlined the view of a huge mall wall. I like to wonder why it's the only decent store to shop at in in the city at all. It seems actually unfair walking back and forth on a weekend for almost an hour just to make something to eat tomorrow. He'll have to leave my indiscretion behind, as I do not know as how I find myself on the spot. And I definitely shouldn't buy something that won't spoil my stomach for the next week. Sushi. When I reach the store, I pick everything that very likely a living alone single life person might need. Someone's living alone would need. What I usually get here? Vegetables, eggs, bread. Well, and other rubbish on the little things. After checking on all the goods, my self-service checkout and paying, after a few minutes I go outside again. After fresh air, I bump into into my nose. I take a quick look around and leave. In the park, I slow down a bit and give myself time to think. I don't really understand. Is it easier to breathe here just because of the forest nearby? On the other hand, is it logical? On the other, it's all the same air, isn't it? My thoughts gradually jump from one to the other, taking me somewhere far away in thought. Okay, it's Peter again. However, there seems to have been taken too far when I suddenly run into someone. Surprise, I let go of the bag and it falls to the ground. Groceries falling all over. Paper towels, which someone's probably gonna snatch now. My heart skips a beat in the chest at the thought that only bought my eggs would break from such a fall.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Rubbing his neck, the young man gives me an awkward smile.
Let me help you?
Let me help you? Please be kind. Come on, help me. Come on, help me. At least one egg is cracked. Then pray for yours. I bend down and pick up the egg tray first. To my surprise, they're indeed all tacked. The stranger hurriedly sits down, his knees next to me, currently not afraid to get dirty. Okay, I'm just gonna. Of course. Yes, of course. Actually, it's my fault. I apologize. I should have looked where I was going. I really get down to my knees and feel the guilt eating away from me from the inside out. The stranger hurriedly sits down on his knees next to me, clearly not afraid to get dirty his pants, and helps me collect the leftovers in the surviving bag. Getting up from the ground, I immediately pick up my bag, trying not to look at the stranger in the eye. I should have been more careful. What a shame. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay, don't worry about it. He smiled at me gently, interrupting me in mid-sentence.
But I'd like to buy you a treat.
But I would like to buy you a treat sometime, if you're still feeling guilty. As a small compensation, small compensation for the fact that we bumped into each other. The guy looks at me suspiciously. Refuse. After looking at him down, I shake my head, expressing my refusal. Well, whatever you say. He's slowly he's walking away slowly. I exhale with some relief, but something is bothering me. Go for the forest. I felt a chill. Or was it a chill running down my spine? In the case, I absolutely did not like the idea that this person could follow me as clearly as inviting me somewhere. Maybe I'm being paranoid or something. But I steal a glance around and still head towards where the park turns out into a forest. I'll walk for a while, occasionally glancing over my shoulder and making sure I'm not being followed. The further I go, the less passable the terrain becomes. However, I still don't care. It's better to get lost in the woods than fall into the clutches of some serial killer. I stop by the weeds and try to catch my breath, and turning around, I find myself the devil knows where. Wonderful. It's just amazing. I'm in the middle of the forest. Someone might be watching me, and I don't even have a clue how to get back. Clutching my head, I sign in registration and lean back against the tree. My heart was beating wildly, somewhere in my chest and my temples, throbbing in the back of my head and back. Why does this only happen when I leave the house? I can hardly overcome the desire to sit down here and burst into tears from despair, thinking about the next course of action. Well, in theory, if you keep walking, you'll come somewhere, right? After a few minutes of such a stay, I gather my courage and still decide to try to move on, hoping that I will be lucky. I don't know how much time has passed since that halt, but my arms and legs were already falling off when I stop again. It takes me a moment to realize that the forest is shrouded in night darkness. At the moment, I hear someone calling out to me.
Hey!
Hey! A narrow-known guy, who looks more like an foister, is making his way towards the bushes to me. He smiles randomly, carefully pushing the branches in front of him. Once he's almost at my side, he straightens up, stopping a couple of meters away and straining his bag. Unlike me, he stands firmly on his feet.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Hey, what are you doing here? I shift uncomfortably from one foot to the other, shifting the bag from one hand to the other.
You don't know your way back, do you?
You also don't know the way back, do you? I nod weakly as he looks at me puzzled. What a shame. Why does it feel like I'm 10 years old again and my parents found me in the woods?
Let me walk you out.
Hey, will you let me walk you out? He lines me up with his radiant smile, warm smile. Agree. I nod briskly, because I don't really have any other options. The guy's probably just happy to see me off, because he immediately grabs my hand and points away from us.
Okay, follow me.
Great, come, follow me. It's horrible. This is our mushroom Oasis anyway. Immediately following him, I examine his back. Surprisingly, he doesn't seem dangerous to me, or anything like that. On the contrary, in a friendly way to relatives or something. Curiosity outweighs the decency, and walking in silence a bit boring, so I only think for a couple of seconds before starting a dialogue. By the way, what's your name? Jianmian turns his head slightly to the direction, continuing to walk. Apparently, my question startled him a little at first.
I'm Misha, and you are...
I'm Misha, and you are? Oh, I'm Digital Wave. The dialogue was awkward, of course.
So, why are you here?
So, what are you doing here? In the woods, I mean. It seems like the ice of sun acquaintance has begun to fall between us since he asked about it. Would it be appropriate for me to ask now about his appearance? Nah, He's adorable. Though it's probably probably like asking a girl about her age.
What is it?
What's the matter? Do you remember? Don't you remember why you're in the woods? I wanted to take a walk, but somehow I got carried away. I don't know how to lie, and I think it shows. I really want to believe the opposite until the last moment. Misha chuckled. Well, I could only hope that he would not ask for any more details. Unfortunately for me, this Foister did not become curious like me. When thoughts began to creep into my head that this guy had decided not to help me, a gap finally appeared between the trees. Already my heart was grieved at the moment, and relieved, quiet exhaled, voluntary escaped from my chest. My escort apparently noticed this, but did not attach more due importance. We got out of the woods. I've been exhausted for a long time, and the grocery bag was completely crumbled. It seemed to me that the Foister would leave me right at the park, but he continued to walk ahead of me, as if nothing had happened. But knowing if I should start panicking, I just look around once again, noticing that there are much fewer people here at night than during the day. However, they are still present here, and make this guy feel uncomfortable since he pulled his hood almost over his eyes in front of the first passerby. Soon we came to the exit to the street. By a happy coincidence, it's the closest I could get to the home from here. I step forward a little to make sure that this is the right side of the park, and am already turning around to thank my savior. However, he had already waved goodbye to me with a fleeting smile. With a slight wave of my free hand in response, I also go my own way. Thank you very much. A sudden stranger who was doing something in the forest. Then the way lies only along the streets of the city I know. And even though I'm still worried about today's incident, surely the guy can't wait for me until nightfall. Is that right? I cringe at the thought that I might still not be safe, so I quickened my pace so I could get home faster. The last street fly was unnoticed when I finally find myself near the house. Going grocery shopping is a tough business, especially on the first day off after work and after the second job. I just wanted to press the elevator button when I remembered that still it doesn't work. Cursing all the imaginable and unimaginable technologies, I walked to the stairs, counting the horror. How many times I will suffocate before I climb. However, I heroically climbed the last steps, almost falling on the right floor. After catching my breath a bit in front of the door, I finally go inside. Quick unlocking the new supplies into their places as I try to get rid of the obsessive thoughts in my head at this moment. Although what happened today still haunts me. Literally, I climb onto the bed with the phone in my hand, sprawled out in the shape of a star. Should I call JT and tell them everything? Without thinking twice, I pick up the phone, dialing a familiar number. Okay. After all, they are the only ones I can share something like this with. Or rather, with whom I want to share it. After a couple of minutes rings, the phone is picked up, and a voice is heard on the other end.
Hey, haven't talked in a while. What's up?
Hey, Judge Wave, we haven't talked in a long time. How are you? With a heavy sigh, I tell them the whole story of today, almost in one breath. For a long time, they always answer me with silence. Maybe today's story is already something out of the ordinary.
Wait. Are you serious? You almost got down and then invited somewhere? What the hell?
Oh, wait. Are you serious? Someone with left-handed dudes almost knocked you down and also invited you to treat yourself somewhere? What the hell? I laughed nervously in response. Okay, it's not too bad yet. It's probably already on the verge.
No, I'm serious. I want that too.
No, I'm serious, Digital Wave. I also want to be pushed and then treated.
Give that guy my number.
Give that my number to that guy. I'm sorry, but he didn't give it to me.
That Forster too?
And that Forster too? I thought he even has a phone. There's a disappointment groan on their end of the line.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. After chatting with JJ for a while, I put the phone aside and stretched. How long have we been talking? It's almost past midnight on the clock. Deciding to leave today's worries for the next morning, I decided to burrow under the covers and go to bed. I hope I could do without so much stress tomorrow. Okay, and that is the end of the demo again. If you like my content, please subscribe, help out, and comment down below. See you guys next time. Like last time, the game will be in the description.